There are moments in life when the ordinary is suddenly interrupted by the extraordinary. Days roll into weeks, weeks slip into months, and months become years of waiting, hoping, and praying. And yet, without warning, heaven chooses a moment, one moment, that shifts everything forever. That moment, beloved, is tomorrow. This is not chance, not coincidence, and not simply another day on the calendar. What you are standing before is a divine unveiling. A tomorrow that carries weight, destiny, and breakthrough. It is not simply 24 hours ticking on a clock, it is the appointed time written long ago. And you, yes you, have been chosen to step into it. The long nights you thought would never end, the prayers whispered through tears, the silence that made you wonder if you were forgotten, heaven was listening the entire time. Every sigh was counted. Every tear was recorded. Every waiting season was preparing you for a tomorrow that was already promised. Now, that tomorrow is here, and it will not delay any longer. Understand this clearly. Waiting seasons are not wasted seasons. They were the cocoon where transformation took place, even when you could not see it. Seeds were buried deep, appearing lifeless, yet all along they were germinating. Tomorrow is the day those hidden seeds break through the soil and greet the light. That is why this message comes with urgency. Open it before the second, for the timing of heaven is precise. If you step into tomorrow with faith, your life will not look the same again. The unveiling of tomorrow is not merely about events changing, it is about you being changed. You are not entering tomorrow as the same person who waited yesterday. You are entering as someone who has been refined, strengthened, and prepared. The door that swings open tomorrow has your name etched on it, and no one else can walk through it but you. Do not dismiss these words as poetic hope. They are a divine alert. They are the sound of destiny knocking. They are the trumpet blast that says, the delay is over, the appointed time has come. And while others may overlook tomorrow as just another day, you will recognize it as the day everything aligns. So stand tall. Lift your head. Breathe deeply and prepare your heart. Because tomorrow is not waiting for you to be ready, it is arriving whether you believe it or not. The question is, will you step into it with expectation, or let it pass as if it were ordinary? Today, as you read this message, heaven whispers, congratulations. The wait is over. Tomorrow belongs to you. Waiting is one of the most mysterious experiences of human life. It stretches the soul, tests faith, and challenges patience. No one enjoys it, yet every destiny requires it. To wait is to stand at the threshold of promise while the door seems firmly closed. It is to know something greater exists yet not see it manifest. And yet, heaven allows waiting for reasons deeper than our minds often understand. Think of the farmer who plants a seed. Once it disappears into the soil, there is silence. Days pass, then weeks, with no visible sign of growth. From the surface, it appears as though nothing is happening. But in reality, a miracle is occurring beneath the ground. Roots are forming, strength is building, and a foundation is being laid so that when the seed finally pushes upward, it will not wither under pressure. That silent, unseen stage is waiting. Waiting seasons are often the hardest because they feel hidden. You pray, but answers don't come right away. You work, but results seem delayed. You dream, but fulfillment feels distant. This is not punishment, it is preparation. Heaven never wastes time. Every day of waiting has been sharpening you, refining your character, and aligning you with the moment that has now come. The nature of waiting is also protective. Imagine a door opening too soon. If you walked into a blessing without maturity, it might crush you instead of elevate you. If success came before wisdom, it could be lost. If relationships formed before healing, they could wound instead of bless. Heaven knows timing, and waiting is proof of divine love. The delay was not denial, it was preservation. But now, listen carefully, the waiting has ended. How do we know? Because tomorrow marks the shift. The season of hidden growth has completed its purpose. What was underground is ready to break forth. The lessons, tears, and struggles you carried have reached their full measure. The waiting room has served its purpose, and now the doors of fulfillment swing open. Why does it end now? Because heaven's calendar has aligned. Just as the tides move at appointed hours and the sun rises without fail, there are moments divinely written before time began. You were never waiting without direction. You were moving toward an appointed date. That date is here. That date is tomorrow. Consider the story of a caterpillar. For a time, it crawls low, limited, and unseen. Then it enters a cocoon, hidden from the world, in a dark and silent space. If someone were to interrupt the cocoon stage too early, the creature would never gain the wings it was destined to carry. But when the process finishes, the cocoon breaks, and the butterfly emerges in glory. That emergence cannot be rushed, but once the moment comes, nothing can stop it. That is where you are now. The cocoon of waiting has broken. Wings are ready. Many who have walked through waiting seasons think they have been forgotten. They look around at others advancing, thriving, and succeeding, and they wonder, why not me? What they fail to see is that comparison is dangerous. Every destiny has a unique timeline. Yours was not delayed by mistake, it was being aligned with perfection. If you had received what you prayed for even a year earlier, it may not have blessed you as it will tomorrow. Timing is the difference between almost and fulfilled. And here is the most important truth. Waiting ends not because you are tired of it, but because heaven declares it finished. You may have whispered, "Enough, I can't take more," but it was not your cry that stopped the waiting, it was the divine decree. When the Father speaks, now, no power in heaven or earth can resist. That decree has already gone forth, and tomorrow is its manifestation. Therefore, your waiting ends now because the purpose of it is complete. You have been strengthened in patience. You have been trained in trust. You have been humbled in spirit. And you have been readied for the blessing. The waiting room is no longer your home, it was only a passage. Tomorrow, the door opens into the place you were always meant to stand. Let your heart rest in this truth. Waiting is not wasted, and delay is not denial. Every silent day carried weight. Every unanswered prayer carried purpose. And now, the wait that once seemed endless has run out of time. The announcement comes with urgency, because breakthrough does not linger. It arrives swiftly, like dawn after the longest night. Tomorrow, when you awaken, remember this. You are not just waking into another day, you are waking into destiny. And you will look back at the waiting not with bitterness, but with gratitude, for it prepared you for what only now could arrive. Tomorrow is not just a date on the calendar. Tomorrow is an appointed time, a spiritual marker, a threshold you are about to cross. It is the day when heaven says, "Enough delay. Step forward." What happens tomorrow is not random. It is the unfolding of what has been promised, prepared, and preserved specifically for you. So what will happen tomorrow? The answer is layered, because tomorrow is both a literal day and a prophetic symbol. Let us look deeply into its meaning. 1. The unveiling of hidden doors. Tomorrow will reveal doors you did not even know existed. For months, perhaps years, you may have walked through life feeling as if every opportunity was locked, every pathway blocked. You knocked, but doors remained closed. Yet behind the silence, doors were being crafted with your name carved into them. Tomorrow, some of those doors begin to swing open. These are not ordinary doors, they are divinely appointed connections, opportunities, and revelations. They are doors no human could manufacture and no enemy can shut. Once they open, your life shifts in ways you cannot reverse. 2. The release of what was held back. Think of a dam that holds back water. For a time, the water builds and builds, but the structure resists. Then comes the appointed moment when the barrier gives way, and a flood rushes forth with unstoppable force. That is what tomorrow represents. There have been blessings, answers, breakthroughs, and resources with your name on them, waiting in the heavenly storehouses. You may have wondered, why has it not reached me yet? But understand, timing was the only barrier. Tomorrow is when the dam begins to break. Expect sudden release, opportunities that once seemed impossible, solutions to problems that felt immovable, provision that appears from unexpected places. 3. The awakening of your spirit. Perhaps the most important thing that happens tomorrow is within you. Tomorrow is not only about external events, it is about internal awakening. Your spirit, weary from waiting, will suddenly feel lighter, sharper, and more alive. You may wake up with a sense of clarity you haven't felt in years. Ideas will flow, courage will rise, and peace will surround you like a shield. You will look at the same challenges you faced yesterday, but something will be different. You will sense that they no longer have power over you. 4. Signs and confirmations. Heaven does not leave you guessing. Tomorrow, pay attention to signs. They may come as conversations, sudden opportunities, dreams in the night, or even subtle nudges in your heart. The purpose of these signs is to confirm that you are indeed stepping into the shift. Archangel Michael, the messenger of breakthrough, is often sent at such times to deliver strength and clarity. Tomorrow you may feel a stirring, a sense that you are not walking alone. That presence is not your imagination. It is confirmation. 5. Reversals and restorations. Tomorrow marks the beginning of divine reversals. Where you experienced loss, you will begin to see restoration. Where there was rejection, acceptance will follow. Where there was confusion, direction will come. Think of the story of Joseph, who went from prison to palace in a single day. That shift was not gradual. It was sudden. Tomorrow may be your Joseph moment, the day when years of hardship turn around in an instant. 6. Acceleration. Tomorrow will not only bring change, it will accelerate it. Things that once dragged on slowly will suddenly move with speed. Projects will progress, relationships will strengthen, and prayers will manifest quicker than you imagined. This acceleration is a sign that the waiting season has ended. Heaven redeems lost time. The years you thought were wasted will be restored through rapid advancement. Tomorrow is the first step into that acceleration. 7. A call to courage. With every shift comes responsibility. Tomorrow will challenge you to walk boldly. New doors require faith to step through. Release demands trust to receive. Awakening requires courage to act. Do not shrink back in fear when the opportunities appear. Heaven is not only opening doors, it is giving you the strength to walk through them. Tomorrow is not simply about what happens around you, it is about how you respond to it. 8. Why tomorrow is different from every other day. You may wonder, haven't there been other tomorrows before? Why is this one special? The answer is this: because heaven has marked it. Every tomorrow holds potential, but this tomorrow carries divine decree. It is the culmination of waiting, the alignment of seasons, and the birthing of promises. This is why the message warns you to open it before the second. Not because the blessing will vanish if ignored, but because expectation positions you to recognize what others overlook. If you walk into tomorrow distracted or unbelieving, you may miss the signs. But if you enter tomorrow with open eyes and open heart, you will see exactly what has been prepared. 9. The personal dimension of tomorrow. Understand this: tomorrow will not look the same for everyone. For one person, it may be the phone call they have been waiting for. For another, it may be the peace in their soul they thought they lost. For another still, it may be financial provision, healing, or reconciliation. Do not measure tomorrow by someone else's story. Look for what heaven has tailored for you. Tomorrow is not generic. It is personal. 10. The beginning, not the end. Finally, remember this: tomorrow is not the conclusion of your journey. It is the beginning of a new chapter. Just as sunrise is not the end of the night but the start of the day, so tomorrow is the dawn of what is yet to unfold. Yes, you will see doors open. Yes, you will feel the release. Yes, your spirit will awaken. But tomorrow is not a finish line, it is a launch. What begins tomorrow will unfold over days, weeks, and months to come, carrying you into the fullness of your calling. So when tomorrow comes, do not treat it as ordinary. Wake with expectation. Step into it with faith. Watch with eyes open. Because tomorrow is the day heaven's whisper becomes reality. Tomorrow is when the wait ends, the doors open, and the shift begins. Tomorrow is yours. Every breakthrough story has a backstory of resistance. Before the unveiling of tomorrow, there were forces, distractions, and battles designed to delay you. These obstacles were not random, they were calculated attempts to keep you from stepping into your appointed time. Yet the very fact that you are reading this now proves they did not succeed. 1. The weight of doubt. One of the greatest obstacles that tried to delay you was doubt. Doubt whispered that the promise was too good to be true, that your prayers were unheard, that your efforts were wasted. It crept in during the quiet nights, asking you, what if nothing changes? Doubt was meant to paralyze your faith, because without faith, tomorrow's door cannot be recognized. But though doubt spoke loudly, deep inside you still chose to believe. That belief is why you stand on the edge of breakthrough. 2. The distractions of life. Delay often comes through distraction. Life threw busyness, urgent demands, and endless noise at you, hoping you would lose sight of what mattered most. There were times when you almost forgot the dream, buried under routine and responsibility. But heaven never forgot, and even when you drifted, divine hands were guiding you back on course. 3. The voices of opposition. Not everyone understood your journey. Some voices mocked, some doubted, and others projected their own fears onto you. Their words tried to convince you that you were unworthy, incapable, or destined for disappointment. These voices were meant to silence your confidence. But they could not cancel what heaven had spoken. Tomorrow belongs to you because no voice on earth can override divine decree. 4. The battle within. Perhaps the hardest obstacle was within yourself. Fear, insecurity, and weariness built walls inside your own heart. At times, you questioned your own worth. At times, you were tempted to settle for less, to shrink back from what was promised. The inner battle was fierce because the enemy knew, if he could stop you in your mind, he could stop you in your destiny. But every time you rose again after failure, every time you chose hope instead of despair, you chipped away at those walls. 5. Unseen spiritual resistance. Do not underestimate this. Some delays were spiritual. There were forces in the unseen realm pushing back against your progress, trying to keep you entangled in cycles of defeat. This is why certain battles felt unexplainably heavy, why progress seemed harder than it should have been. But you were never alone. Angels were fighting for you, protecting you, and ensuring that resistance could not stop the appointed time. 6. Why they couldn't win. These obstacles, doubt, distraction, opposition, inner battles, and unseen resistance, were real, but they were never stronger than destiny. They tried to delay you, but they could not destroy what heaven sealed. Their very presence was proof of the greatness inside you. If your tomorrow were not significant, resistance would not have fought so hard to prevent it. And now, here you stand. The obstacles are behind you, the delays are broken, and the way forward is clear. Tomorrow rises, not because obstacles vanished, but because they no longer have power over you. A shift as powerful as tomorrow's unveiling does not come without a call to action. Breakthrough requires readiness. The way you step into tomorrow determines how fully you will experience what has been prepared. Heaven is opening doors, but you must be positioned to walk through them. 1. Prepare your heart with expectation. The first step is to believe. Expectation is the key that unlocks recognition. If you enter tomorrow treating it as ordinary, you may overlook the extraordinary moments heaven places before you. Wake with intentional expectation. Say to yourself, something is shifting for me today. Carry that awareness in every conversation, decision, and encounter. 2. Clear the clutter of distraction. Tomorrow's blessing deserves your full attention. Distractions, whether worry, negativity, or busyness, must be set aside. Take a moment to quiet your mind. Reflect, pray, or meditate before you step into the day. By clearing mental and emotional clutter, you create space for clarity, guidance, and new insight to reach you. 3. Respond with courage. When doors open, they require action. You may be asked to take a step that feels bold, accepting an opportunity, making a decision, or speaking truth where you once stayed silent. Do not shrink back. Fear will whisper, but courage must answer. Remember, heaven would not open the door if you were not ready to walk through it. 4. Stay attuned to signs. Tomorrow is a day of confirmations. Stay sensitive to subtle nudges, conversations, or encounters that feel divinely aligned. Do not dismiss them as coincidence. Keep your spiritual senses awake. Write down impressions or dreams. By acknowledging the signs, you affirm your readiness to receive. 5. Offer gratitude in advance. Finally, prepare by giving thanks before you even see the manifestation. Gratitude is a declaration of faith. It tells heaven you trust what is unfolding. Begin tomorrow not with complaint, but with thanksgiving. Let gratitude be your first response, and watch how it multiplies what is released to you. Preparation is simple yet powerful. Expect, clear distractions, act with courage, stay attentive, and give thanks. Do this, and you will not just witness tomorrow's unveiling, you will fully embrace it. The moment is here. The message has been spoken. The unveiling of tomorrow is not a distant dream, it is a reality already set in motion. You have walked through the waiting, endured the obstacles, and now stand at the threshold of destiny. Heaven has sounded the trumpet. Congratulations! Your wait is over. But this word comes with urgency. Open it before the second. Why? Because expectation sharpens vision. If you step into tomorrow half-hearted, distracted, or unbelieving, you may miss what has been prepared. The shift is not hidden, but it requires eyes willing to see. The timing is precise. The announcement is clear. The promise is sealed. This is your final call. Do not delay. Do not question whether this applies to you. It does. Do not wait for another confirmation. You already have it. Do not assume tomorrow will look like yesterday. It will not. Instead, rise with courage. Declare with your own voice that the wait is over. Step into the day believing doors will open, answers will come, and your spirit will awaken. Trust that no obstacle can stand in your way now. What belongs to you cannot be stolen, and what heaven has decreed cannot be denied. Tomorrow is not ordinary. Tomorrow is marked. Tomorrow is yours. So prepare your heart, silence your doubts, and embrace the dawn of a new season. This is your moment. This is your unveiling. This is your time. Before the second passes, choose faith. Step forward. Receive fully. For heaven has spoken, the wait is over, and tomorrow will reveal what was always yours.